My dear colleagues, we support the rebalancing by the U.S. in order to enhance the peace and security of the Asia-Pacific region. And I will state clearly, we will support the U.S. effort first, last, and throughout. Japan has deepened its strategic relations with Australia and India. We are enhancing our cooperation across many fields with the countries of ASEAN and the Republic of Korea, adding those partners to the central pillar that is the U.S.-Japan alliance. Our alliance, our region will get stable, remarkably more. Now, Japan will provide up to $2.8 billion to help improve U.S. bases in Guam, which will gain strategic significance even more in the future. As regards the state of Asian waters, let me underscore here my 3 principles. First, states shall make their claims based on international law. Second, they shall not use force or coercion to drive their claims. And third, to settle disputes, any disputes, they shall do so by peaceful means. We must make the vast seas stretching from the Pacific to the Indian Oceans, seas of peace and freedom, will all follow the rule of law. For that very reason, we must fortify the U.S.-Japan alliance. That is our responsibility. Now, let me tell you, in Japan, we are working hard to enhance the legislative foundations of our security. Once in place, Japan will be much more able to provide a seamless response for all levels of crisis. These enhanced legislative foundations should make the cooperation between the U.S. military and Japan's self-defense forces ever stronger and the alliance still more solid, providing credible deterrence for the peace in the region. The reform is the first of its kind and a sweeping one in our post-war history. We will achieve this by this coming summer. Now, I have something to share with you. The day before yesterday, Secretaries Kerry and Carter met our Foreign Minister Kishida and Defense Minister Nakatani for consultations. As a result, we now have a new framework, a framework to better put together the forces of the US and Japan, a framework that is in line with the legislative attempts going on in Japan. That is what's necessary to build peace, more reliable peace in the region, and that is namely the new defense cooperation guidelines. Yesterday, President Obama and I fully agreed on this significance of these guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, we agreed on a document that is historic. In the early 1990s, in the Persian Gulf, Japan's self-defense forces swept away sea mines. For 10 years, in the Indian Ocean, Japanese self-defense forces supported your operation to stop the flow of terrorists and arms. Meanwhile, in Cambodia, the Golan Heights, Iraq, Haiti, and South Sudan, members of our self-defense forces provided humanitarian support and peacekeeping operations. Their number amounts to 50,000. Based on this track record, we are resolved to take yet more responsibility for the peace and stability in the world. It is for that purpose we are determined to enact all necessary bills by this coming summer, and we will do exactly that. We must make sure human security will be preserved in addition to national security. That's our belief, firm and solid. We must do our best so that every individual gets education, medical support, and an opportunity to rise to be self-reliant. Armed conflicts have always made women suffer the most. In our age, we must realize the kind of world where finally women are free from human rights abuses. Our servicemen and women have made substantial accomplishments. So have our aid workers, who have worked so steadily. Their combined sum has giving us a new self-identity. That's why we now hold up high a new banner that is proactive contribution to peace based on the principle of international cooperation. Let me repeat, proactive contribution to peace based on the principle of international cooperation should lead Japan along its road for the future. Problems we face include terrorism, infectious diseases, natural disasters, and climate change. The time has come for the US-Japan alliance to face up to and jointly tackle those challenges that are new. After all, our alliance has lasted more than a quarter of the entire history of the United States. It is an alliance that is sturdy, bound in trust and friendship, deep between us. No new concept should ever be necessary for the alliance that connects us, the biggest and the second biggest democratic powers in the free world, in working together. Always, it is an alliance that cherishes our shared values of the rule of law, respect for human rights, and freedom. When I was young in high school and listened to the radio, there was a song that flew out and shook my heart. It was a song by Carole King. When you are down and troubled, close your eyes and think of me, and I'll be there to brighten up even your darkest night. And that day, March 11, 2011, a big quake, a tsunami, and a nuclear accident hit the northeastern part of Japan. The darkest night fell upon Japan. But it was then we saw the US armed forces rushing to Japan to the rescue at a scale never seen or heard before. Lots and lots of people from all corners of the US extended the hand of assistance to the children in the disaster areas. Yes, we got friends in you. Thank you. together with the victims. You shed tears. You gave us something very, very precious. It was hope for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the finest asset the U.S. has to give to the world was hope, is hope, will be and must always be hope. Distinguished representatives of the citizens of the United States, let us call the U.S.-Japan alliance an alliance of hope. Let the two of us, America and Japan, join our hands together and do our best to make the world a much better place to live. Alliance of hope. Together, we can make difference. Thank you so much.